25 years ago, there was a vision and a decision, and nothing has been the same since. Look around. Look at the buildings, the facilities. Look at the people, the faculty, the students. Look at the numbers, the rankings, the research. Sam Ginn's transformational gift didn't put Auburn engineering on the map. It provided the resources to take over the map, to expand our borders. It gave Auburn engineering the tools to conquer the next level and the confidence to never yield. What's in a name? A spirit that's not afraid to change the game. And it's just the beginning. Ladies and gentlemen, now welcome to the stage, Dean Mario Eden.
War Eagle. Like I said, I'm Mario Eden, and I have the privilege to serve as the Dean of the Samuel Ginn College of Engineering. It is my honor and pleasure to welcome you as we gather to celebrate the 25th anniversary of the naming of the Samuel Ginn College of Engineering. Before we get started, I would like to thank some very special guests in attendance. Of course, this night would not be possible without the Ginn family. Thank you all for being here. We also have with us members of the Auburn University Board of Trustees, members of the Auburn University Foundation Board, and the Auburn Alumni Association Board of Directors. To all the board members, thank you so much for being here to celebrate with us tonight. But before we hear from our special guest, Dr. Sam Ginn, you'll hear from Dean Emeritus Larry Benefield, President Chris Roberts, and me. Dr. Benefield served as the Dean of the Samuel Ginn College of Engineering from 2000 to 2012, after serving as interim dean from 1998 to 2000. He earned his bachelor's degree in civil engineering from Auburn in 1966. After graduation, he served 4 years as a civil engineering officer in the U.S. Air Force and was awarded the Bronze Star for his service in Vietnam. He joined Auburn civil engineering faculty in 1979 as an associate professor. As dean, Dr. Benefield led the college through a period of significant growth, drawing national attention and achieving the highest rankings in Auburn engineering's history at the time. Under his leadership, the college completed a $154 million facilities enhancement program, including the construction of the Shelby Center, Wiggins Hall, and the Walters Laboratories. He also oversaw the launch of the nation's first undergraduate degree in wireless engineering, the opening of Auburn's MRI Center, and the establishment of the Auburn University Huntsville Research Center. Dr. Benefield's successor, Dr. Chris Roberts, was named Dean of the Samuel Ginn College of Engineering in July 2012. He began his career at Auburn in 1994 as an assistant professor in chemical engineering and became department chair in 2003. From July 2020 to May 2021, he also served as Auburn's interim vice president for development and president of the Auburn University Foundation, all while continuing his work as dean. He was named Auburn University's 21st president in 2022. Under Dr. Roberts' leadership, the college nearly doubled its enrollment, achieved record-breaking research expenditures and awards. His faculty hiring initiative, starting in 2015, has added more than 100 new faculty members to the college. He oversaw the construction of this magnificent Brown Copel Center, the renovation of the former textile engineering building into the beautiful Gavin Laboratory, the renovation of Brown Hall, construction of the Advanced Structural Engineering Laboratory, and the purchase of the Auburn University Research and Innovation Campus in Huntsville. He earned his bachelor's degree in chemical engineering from the University of Missouri in 1990, and his master's and doctoral degrees in chemical engineering from the University of Notre Dame in 1992 and 1994, respectively. I would also like to recognize Dr. Steve Taylor, Auburn's Senior Vice President for Research and Economic Development, who served as the interim dean of the college from April 2022 to May of 2023. Prior to serving as the interim dean, Dr. Taylor served as the college's associate dean for research, leading significant growth in the college annual external funding, while also facilitating the creation of the Auburn University Applied Research Institute and the Auburn University Transportation Research Institute. He also helped secure funding for several new research facilities, such as the Auburn's Advanced Structural Engineering Laboratory, and additionally, he led the efforts to acquire and operationalize the university's Research and Innovation Campus in Huntsville's Cummins Research Park. During his more than 35-year career at Auburn, he also served as the head of the Department of Biosystems Engineering, where he's a tenured professor, and as the director of the Center for Bioenergy and Bioproducts. Dr. Taylor was the perfect person to lead our college during our transition, and I am personally very, very thankful for his service and commitment to this college. Dr. Taylor, thank you so much. Back in the year 2000, Sam met with Dr. Benefield and laid out his wishes to gift the college a sizable donation. And Dr. Benefield promised Sam that his gift would change this college, this university, and the lives of many students and graduates for generations to come. Since then, the Samuel Ginn College of Engineering has experienced exponential growth in every metric: rankings, enrollment, graduates, research funding, donor funding, facilities, and much, much more. But this all started with an Auburn man and a dream, and a dean with a vision to see it through.
Larry Benefield's dream was to teach engineering at Auburn. His legacy? Transforming Auburn engineering. Benefield's years as dean saw challenges turn to triumphs on the strength of an unprecedented gift and a bold vision. Sam Ginn's $25 million investment in his alma mater turned quiet confidence in Auburn's capabilities into a contagious audacity that literally laid new engineering foundations on the plains. From launching the nation's first wireless engineering program to delivering Auburn's highest ever national ranking, the Benefield era redefined the way others saw Auburn engineering and how we saw ourselves. It brought tangible results, immediate impact, and it continues to shape the way Auburn pursues its potential in a practical world. Ladies and gentlemen, Dean Emeritus Larry Benefield.
A little bright up here. Good evening, everyone. And such a great crowd. Unfortunately, I've been retired for so long that I probably only remember about a third of you out there in the audience, but I'll try to do better next time. It's really great to see everybody turn out tonight. I'm not sure we ever had a crowd this large at an Alumni Engineering Council meeting when I was dean, but you've really grown, I'll say that. I need to start off with a disclaimer because I'm kind of an old-fashioned person, and you're going to hear me tonight talk about our incredible development team. Now, I know that development is now advancement, but the entire time that I was dean, it was development. That's the way I remember it. So I reckon you're just going to have to stay with me on that one because it's going to be development tonight. Let me begin. You really need to have a perspective for Sam's gift. You need to have a perspective about the true impact that Sam Ginn and his gift had on the college and the university when he made that gift 25 years ago, which is incredible to believe that 25 years has passed, but 25 years ago. Now, some of you may remember that there were several years that the state budget for this university was cut. And to make things even worse, there were a number of times during that period when the state revenue collection did not add up to what they had projected when they made the budget. So what happened? Proration. That's an evil word, proration. What that means is that at the end of the year, the university did not receive the amount of money that was in the original budget at the beginning of the fiscal year. Well, those were difficult times. And all of those cuts trickled down to the college. Now, in the fall, when I became interim dean in 1998, we had an ABET visit. Most of you know what that is. Well, all of our programs really achieved the maximum length of accreditation that you could achieve, which was 6 years. But we were told that you need to address your budget issues before the next visit in 2004, because it is obvious that the college is really having a difficult time providing the departments with the resources that they need for operations and maintenance, equipment repair and replacement, renovation, construction, all of those sorts of things. So we were kind of in a bind. Now, Bill Walker was the dean that was before me. Bill was my mentor, great friend, think the world of Bill Walker. And when Bill moved to the president's office, talk began about having a really major fundraising campaign for Auburn University, because that seemed to be the only way that the university could address the problems that were associated with all the budget cuts that we had. Well, as that progressed, every college was asked to develop a plan to outline their funding priorities, and all of those would be fed into the university's campaign to make the overall goal for the campaign. So in engineering, kind of as a basis to begin, you've got to have something to look at before you can actually decide what kind of money you need. So as a basis for us to begin, we established a goal. And that goal was to move the College of Engineering into a top 20 ranking. Well, when we developed our plan, the funding level that seemed to be required to make that happen, to build the foundation so that the college could move forward to that top 20 ranking, was $190 million. Well, everybody on the campaign committee thought we were a little dopey to have that much money when the last campaign only raised like $250 million. Well, that was okay. The campaign committee lowered our goal to $105 million, and that was what was fed in to the campaign plan. And that was okay too, because our incredible development team held on to that $190 million proposal. Every time they took a visit, they laid that $190 million proposal out there. Well, as the campaign came together, Sam's gift was timed to be the cornerstone of the campaign. That $125 million, and that's the way it should be. I mean, at that point in time, that was by far and away the largest gift that Auburn University had ever received. And not only did he make that gift, but he agreed to co-chair that campaign. I will always believe that those two things, Sam's gift and him agreeing to co-chair that campaign, really ignited a give-back culture among Auburn grads that has done nothing but grow and strengthen since that time. And today, I think you will all agree that advancement is a major component in funding the university mission. So, Sam was incredible at that point in time. Then, when the campaign began, he came by and said, "Larry, I will help you meet your goal in any way that I can." And he did. He made many trips with our incredible development team. So we wound up in engineering at the end of the campaign, I think, with like 116 something, very close to $117 million, which at the time, again, was the most any academic unit at Auburn University had ever raised. Well, and I'm not sure about these numbers. We've got advancement people in the audience that can correct it down the road, but I believe that the university campaign goal was like $500 million, and I believe that they raised well over $600 million at that time. Now, at that time, I feel that that was quite a feat for a university when development was in its infancy. And I believe that Sam Ginn had a large role to play in that. In closing, Gene Fuller always said I talk too long, so I'm going to try not to talk too long. I want to tell you one Sam Ginn story. Dean Eden mentioned the Baltos building and the Wiggins building. We would not have those buildings were it not for Sam Ginn. And I'll tell you why. When the first building in the Shelby Center was completed, then President Ed Richardson had a senior advisor for facilities that was adamantly opposed to the College of Engineering having any more buildings, facilities built. And in fact, when the government money came in to partially fund those two buildings, he said, "We're going to return that to Washington." I said, "Man, that's the craziest thing I've ever heard of." Well, you can imagine that we had several heated debates on that topic. And finally, we agreed. There was going to be one final meeting where the fate of those two buildings was going to be decided. 4 people attended that meeting. The Board of Trustee member who was chairing the board's facility committee, Dr. Richardson's senior advisor for facilities, Sam, and myself. Well, all you have to do is kind of look up that way and you see that those two buildings are actually built. I was told that the senior advisor for facilities was asked, "What happened in that meeting?" And his response was, "I brought a knife to a gunfight and Benny Field brought a gun." Sam Ginn was that gun. So thank you, Sam, for everything that you do for this university. Thank you, folks.
If you build it, they will come. And they did, more than anyone would have imagined. Over 100 new faculty members, nearly doubled enrollment, record high research. Chris Roberts' tenure as dean stretched the scope of the goals Sam Ginn's gift allowed us to set even further. It was another decade of growth, with each new facility setting Auburn apart from its peers. None more game-changing than the Brown-Copel Engineering Student Achievement Center, the embodiment of a promise fulfilled. Today they call Auburn the best student-centered engineering experience in America, but they wouldn't without Chris Roberts. Ladies and gentlemen, President Chris Roberts.
War Eagle. I have to tell you, this is just delightful. I'm in this space that means so much to me with my heroes and my friends, and frankly, our future with some of our students. This is wonderful. I was a young professor when Dr. Benefield had called a faculty meeting and announced that Sam Ginn was making a significant investment. Now, I interpreted that as Sam investing in us. He believed in us, in the college and in the students, and us as faculty. There was a whole generation of us. Mario can remember this. We walked out of that auditorium thinking, heck yeah, we're going to do this. We're going to go towards that goal that Larry set for us. People believed in us. And we believed in ourselves from that moment forward. That feeling was absolutely contagious. My colleagues and I embraced that opportunity. In that moment, I'll call it the catalyst. And it didn't just affect our donors, it changed how we thought about ourselves. It gave us a little swagger. And because of that, we've been able to use the name of this college as a calling card. You all have it on your shirts, your cars, your offices, and we're so proud to call ourselves as part of the Samuel Ginn College of Engineering. Honestly, I don't think you can fully describe how important that was and how important it still is today. What Sam and Dr. Benefield helped kickstart in terms of fundraising has continued. People have continued to invest in this college, in the buildings that you see right around you, in the professors that you learn from, in the scholarships and the support that we use for that education. And we, as faculty and staff, and I still consider myself a faculty member here in the Samuel Ginn College of Engineering, we've had the privilege of meeting and working with the people behind the names on those buildings and those endowments. They cared deeply about Auburn, and I believe they felt more confident, more willing to show that care because of the example that the two of you set. I'm honored to be here today, saying this in front of you, our alumni. What I can tell both of you is this: when we say that the Samuel Ginn College of Engineering is the best student-centered engineering experience in America, that's not just a slogan, it's a fact. That's even more evident today with Dr. Eden at the helm of this college. Dr. Benefield passed the baton to me, and I passed it to Dr. Eden. And now he's running with it. And seeing it from the other side of Sanford Hall has been a really amazing experience for me and my colleague, Vinnie Nathan, who serves as our provost. But she was also a fellow dean with me at that time in our College of Architecture, Design, and Construction. And we get to watch this from Sanford Hall. In just these few short years, Dr. Eden's already set a record for research awards, contracts and grants funding, nearly $120 million last year in contracts and grants funding. For those of you who served on this research committee in years past, did you ever dream we'd reach $120 million in extramural awards? And in addition to record enrollment and rising rankings and growth in Huntsville and Orange Beach and Washington, D.C., and so much more, Dr. Eden's been a friend and a confidant and a colleague for more than 2 decades. And I couldn't think of a person better equipped to lead this college that we all love into the future. But none of this would be possible, Sam, without the courage and the dedication and the commitment that you showed to this university and this college, our students, and you did this for our future 25 years ago, and we're getting to experience it here today and dream about the next 25. Sam, on a personal note, I want to thank you so much for being a mentor to me, a guidepost, and a coach, especially when I needed it, and a friend. You challenged me when I needed to be challenged, and you lifted me up when I needed to be lifted. And you've done the same for Auburn when we've needed you most. So because of you, the present at Auburn is even brighter and brighter. War Eagle.
Larry Benefield lit the spark. Chris Roberts fanned the flame. Mario Eden is carrying the torch. In just 2 years, the Eden era has not only seen a college record for new research, awards, and contracts, but a $30 million commitment to student scholarships, the largest in Auburn history, ensuring opportunities for the best and the brightest for another 25 years. And the name behind it sure sounds familiar. For a quarter of a century, the Samuel Ginn College of Engineering has raised the bar and set the standard for the entire university. And it's time to do it again. It's not the end of the story. It's the start of the next chapter. Unyielding, fearless, and truer than ever. War Eagle. Ladies and gentlemen, Dean Mario Eden.
As Drs. Benefield and Roberts have shared tonight, the commitment of the Ginn family has been a catalyst for greatness across our college. Their gift has served as the impetus for so many others to dream big and leave a lasting legacy on Auburn University and this college that we all love. Because of the support of Sam and many other donors, our college is leading the way in areas such as additive manufacturing, cybersecurity, neuroimaging, transportation safety, and so much more. And as we continue to make an impact in our state and region, we know we cannot do it without the support of our alumni and friends like you. So many of the individuals here tonight have made and are making greatness possible through their support. Examples include the transformational gifts from John and Rosemary Brown to build the Brown Copel Student Achievement Center, from Charles and Carol Ann Gavin to renovate the textile engineering building here to my right, from Dorothy Davidson in honor of her husband Julian to renovate Brown Hall, and from the Waltos and Wiggins families to complete the Shelby Center complex, and from Jeff Hills just last year to create the largest scholarship commitment in Auburn University history. Until now. Earlier this year, the Ginn Family Foundation committed $30 million in scholarships to this college, marking the largest commitment to scholarships in our university's history. So when you include Jeff Hill's gift and an endowment established by the Watson family, the College of Engineering now has the 3 largest scholarship programs in Auburn University history. So we're very proud of that. This remarkable gift from the Ginn family will impact dozens of students over the years by not only providing full scholarships, but also the student support services and resources to help them thrive. Sam, it was incredibly rewarding to work with you on establishing this program and to see the passion that you have for Auburn and the state of Alabama. Your commitment and dedication to provide opportunity to students in our state is truly awe-inspiring. And your trust in me to see your vision to fruition is really, really humbling. I cannot thank you enough for your support and your friendship. A gift of this magnitude doesn't stop with those scholarship students. As they thrive, we all thrive. And as we continue to support our students, we elevate the Auburn engineering experience for everyone, from our faculty and staff to our alumni and friends. Now, it gives me great pleasure to have the privilege of introducing our college's namesake and the man who put all of this in motion. A native of Anniston, Alabama, Sam Ginn is a 1959 graduate of Auburn's College of Engineering with a degree in industrial engineering. Following his service in the Army Signal Corps, he built a 31-year career with AT&T and its affiliates. He chose to leave his position as CEO of Pacific Telesis, an AT&T affiliate with 90,000 employees, and assume the role of CEO of a spinoff focused on the company's wireless assets, including 300 employees. By assembling a workforce comprised of those willing to make a career change and new hires to the industry, Sam helped build what became the largest cellular company in the world, AirTouch, with operations across the United States, Europe, Asia, and Eastern Europe. In 1999, the company was sold for $65 billion to Vodafone. Many of the original 300 employees, including those in entry-level positions such as mail delivery, became millionaires at the time of the sale. After the sale of AirTouch, Sam was involved at the senior level of several startups, including being one of the early founders of OnDot Systems, a company that formed to prevent credit card fraud. After 5 years, it was acquired by Fiserv Incorporated with a 7-time return to its investors. Sam has served on 11 corporate boards, including Chevron, Safeway, Hewlett-Packard, Pacific Telesis, AirTouch, and Vodafone. He's also served as chairman of the California Business and Higher Education Forum, the California Business Roundtable, and the Committee on Jobs and the Economy. He is an overseer at the Hoover Institute in Palo Alto, as well as a Sloan Fellow at Stanford University School of Business. He also served on Auburn University's Board of Trustees from 2005 to 2013. For his professional achievements, he was awarded an honorary Doctor of Science from Auburn University in 1998. He is also a member of the Wireless Hall of Fame, the State of Alabama Engineering Hall of Fame, and the Alabama Business Hall of Fame. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the namesake of our beloved college, Sam Ginn.
It would be in my interest to sit down, because it's all downhill from here. Well, I want to tell you my experience with Larry Benefield. I didn't come down here to make a contribution. I came down here because I ran a company and I needed engineers, and Auburn was not providing the kind of engineers that I needed. So I came down to see Larry about that, and I said, I need networks, engineers in network design, and I need engineers in upgrading maintenance systems. I need all kind of engineers. And he said to me, well, Sam, we're in a pickle here. I can change the curriculum, but I don't have the money and I don't have the staff to make it happen. Remember that? And I started thinking, and I said, well, God, we got to get out of this. And I said, well, why don't I give you $25 million? And then I said, did I say that? And then I said, look, I'll give you $25 million, but here's what I want from you. I want you to hit the road, and I want you to raise $100 million to go with my 25. I want you to take this institution in the top 10% of engineering schools in the nation. Give us a plan and an estimate of when you can do that. And in addition to that, I want a periodic report on how we're doing. And so I said the other thing, and Larry said to me, he said, well, look, I accept those conditions on the condition that you help me. And so Larry did a lot of research. He came up with a whole list of foundations who had given to engineering colleges across the country. he sort of segmented them into the high probability ones. And he and I got on airplanes and went around the country. And I remember, I remember going to this foundation out of Detroit, Kellogg Foundation. And we walked in, and on the plane going up there, I'm saying, I don't know why we're going to Detroit. I mean, and we walked in the room, and this kind of pompous guy from the staff, he said, you know, we think there's only one engineering school in the Southeast, and that's Georgia Tech. And Larry said to him, let me tell you what we're going to do about that. And Larry laid out a step-by-step program that he would implement if he could raise his $100 million. And so at the end of that discussion, about a month later, we got a big check from the Kellogg Foundation. So Larry and I spent a lot of time together on planes talking, and really got to be good friends. And we had some fun along the way. You know, he's from Wedowee. No, Roanoke. Close to Wedowee. I thought it was Wedowee. In any event, whether it's Wedowee or Roanoke, it's a little bitty town. And at one stoplight, I go through there. So I'd go through Roanoke. I remember Wedowee. We went to Roanoke, and I'd look around, and nothing was moving except 4 pickup trucks over by a little cafe over there. And so I'd get down to Larry's office, and by the way, I'm living in L.A., so you can imagine L.A. and Roanoke and the lifestyles in the two places. So I would tease Larry about being from Roanoke. I thought we would always, so I would kind of delay my departure into the meeting just a few minutes, and I would walk in and I'd say, traffic, Roanoke. and then later I'd come back to him and I said, you know, we got to pick out some extra signposts, but I don't remember when I've been through Roanoke. So we really had fun together. He is a great gentleman. I love him. He did such a great job for this university. I just want to point out that you give owners a lot of publicity, but I just want you to know that it's the deans and the staffs who get the work done. And so you raise the money, but you got to execute. And I think for the last 25 years, we've had 3 deans here. First Larry, and then Chris, and now, you know. And so they've been doing a great job. You established the foundation. He executed to a world-class conforming organization, and today we are just in a great position. As you know, we've just funded a educational program, and Mario Eden has done a great job, and I've tried to help developing that program into one that we take kids who otherwise couldn't go to college, and once they get an engineering degree, our theory is pretty simple. You get an engineering degree from Auburn, that will lead you to a good job, a middle-class salary, and a middle-class salary allows you to buy a home, invest in markets, and create assets. And until you do that, if you have paycheck to paycheck, you never get there. So our objective is pretty simple. We take these kids who otherwise don't have the opportunity, and we give them an opportunity to transition into a very productive life. And I think Mario Eden has been very flexible in the kind of items he would agree to, but we asked for some pretty significant things like, well, we want special study halls for these kids. We want counseling for these kids, both academic and personal. And he's agreed to all of those things. So he has been great to work with. So in summary, I would just say that Auburn has been wonderful to me. And I can just tell you, being able to give, it gives you great benefits. And the Ginn family and Sam Ginn, thanks you for all you've done for us. Bye.
Thank you so much, Sam, for those inspiring words and for the support from you and your family from the past 25 years and beyond. The accomplishments of the past quarter century have been humbling and exciting to witness. As we reflect on our past, we must also look to the future. I have no doubt that the next 25, 50, or even 100 years will hold even more greatness for us as we take our rightful place among the very best engineering institutions in the nation. I hope that you've enjoyed our program this evening, and we look forward to seeing you back in this very spot in the morning for our engineering tailgate at 8:45 a.m. I wish you all have a great night. Thank you all for coming out, and War Eagle.